You got it, yeah.
Yeah. I was getting into that. Why did you do another guitar jingle?
No, Charlie learned it on the piano.
Get the piano, mate. Get the piano.
Get the piano, Charlie. Come on, mate.
Bring the piano.
Here we go.
You hear it? Over here.
Nothing. Can hear nothing.
Mate.
No.
I love it.
Background.
Let's start this fucking podcast.
All right, let's do it.
We tried.
Right.
Okay.
Welcome back to another Red Jackson podcast with me, Frazer.
Me, Charlie.
Me, Rick.
And me, Serhan. Hey, we got it right.
That was good.
We discussed.
Everyone looked at each other like,
Wait, is everybody hearing Serhan like, or
he's chopping a bit and he's lagging.
He's chopping.
Yeah.
He's
chopping in and out? Can we do that again?
Yeah, we did that.
From the top.
I'll be honest with you, Fraser and Charlie's a talking person.
Oh, thank you.
It's not a compliment, it's bandwidth.
How about now?
All right, go on, Fraser. Go for it again.
Wait 1 second, let me just try something. What do I say again?
Bravo.
Welcome back to another Red Jackson podcast with me, Frazer.
Me, Charlie.
Me, Rick.
And me, Serhan.
Where we discuss all things gaming, media, whatever we really want, to be honest.
It's our podcast. You listen to it, you listen to our rules.
Attack on Titan. Which is, well, do you know that Attack on Titan's been out for like 10 years now? And I don't think we've ever discussed it.
Do you know what? Yeah.
I don't think we've, not in private, anything. I
don't think
we never talked about it.
We was always waiting for someone to catch up, right? AKA Serhan.
Which prick would wait so fucking long to catch up? You tell me that guy's name and I will go find him and I will Titan punch him to the face.
I think we all got like a good chat about season 1 because that came out and there was like a big gap between 1 and 2. Yeah. So we all had to chat about that for a long time, and then we lost Serhan after season 2 came out.
That would have been a good few years ago.
Yeah.
I think we were at school, maybe. Was it
selfish prick? Absolute selfish.
Was it actually? Yeah. No, we would have been.
Or just coming out at
the back end of sixth form.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's mad, isn't it? That's mad. But yeah, it probably was.
I know this much, that when season 1 came out, I still had the PS3, and PS4 still hadn't come out for another year or two because Rikesh put it onto USB and then put it on my PS3. That's how long ago it was.
Wow.
PS3 was.
What's USB?
But that's a different.
PS. God damn it, Charlie.
Damn, that's a long time ago. That's 10 years of.
Yeah, 2013. Attack on Titan season 1.
Mm-hmm.
2013. It's exactly 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Still waiting for that to finish.
Yeah.
It's not as old as some animes, but it's just crazy to think about.
Yeah, when it's this story heavy as well, like Naruto could easily kind of ride its waves and have season by season, but this is just one massive fucking story that has just evolved and evolved and evolved. Like, well, yeah, I mean, we're a tiny bit short of the whole thing at the minute, but we're nearly there.
Just a bit. But yeah, there's the thing about Attack on Titan as well. I think there's a lot of things that set it apart from other animes, even as a long-running anime, or even putting its story aside. Like, even if just looking at our background pictures, the art style and the animation, they managed to make it completely stand out separately, don't you think?
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, wasn't it 2 different animation studios that did like the first and second and the third and fourth or something?
Yeah, it was a studio called Wit Studio that did episodes 1 to 59, I don't know when 59M's what season that is, but after that was Mappa, who are legendary in the game.
Yeah, it's mad though, because the first seasons they seemed a lot grittier and like really like they really did like the freaky Titans really, really well, whereas in like the later ones the action is so much cleaner, but the Titans don't have that grimace kind of feel to them as much as they did in the first seasons. I don't know if that's done intentionally though.
No, you say it.
I don't really, I'm used to it and it's not so different, but I'll be honest with you, I don't like the new design. It's a bit too glossy. I like the more matte painting style. It's a bit more ripped and a bit more rough. I don't mind it. I just preferred the old one. But I mean, it's still fucking freaky, even in this episode. So
I can semi-agree with that, to be fair.
Yeah,
I did like the old art.
Mappa definitely have a style, and you know when they're on the project, and it's really high quality, but you can see like it takes away from that uniqueness in a way, but still happy to have them do it.
But in all fairness, if I didn't know about the two art studios, which I originally didn't, I just thought they just progressed. I thought it was a bit like Simpsons or South Park, where it just become glossier over the years.
But yeah, I think it depends though, right? Because like the first half of Attack on Titan it looked a certain way, like we already said. It's kind of like what else said the same thing? Was it One Punch? Like it started off with like animation and it changed. Like I think that was like a bad change in animation. Like it was much better in the first half, and the second season was a bit shit. But with this, I feel like it's more real. Like in certain scenes, like the one behind me, my background, certain things are just like highlighted in such a way it makes it look super realistic or like a hyper realism to it, and it just adds to the feel. I mean, I get what you're saying. Like the certain Titans don't look as terrifying as they used to be, but it still keeps that same kind of feel, that ambience to the whole scene. I like it.
Yeah,
that's just said as well. Because again, I guess this links back to the story, but differently to the way other animes handle like their characters and the way they react to certain things and stuff like that. I feel like Attack on Titan really nails a more grounded approach, even in its own sort of fantastical way, in its fantastical world. Like there are a lot of animes that stick to the same kind of stereotypes and tropes in the way they react to things and go about things and make decisions. But in Attack on Titan, like even with certain scenes where their facial expressions are really like different and they really catch you out because you don't expect an anime for them to react that way.
Yeah. There's been many moments that you kind of, obviously I mean I'm guessing we've all watched it back like more than 2 or 3 times at this point, but every time you rewatch it you kind of see something else that you're like, oh mate, that little moment is so weird watching it back because they've like done a flip on it, you know what I mean? Like the first time watching it you're like, haha, he's so startled, and the next time you watch it you're like, oh, that means so much more than I thought it did. You know what I mean? Like it's really
subtle reactions that really stand out.
Yeah.
Nande.
Nani?
No,
I mean, probably really racist.
No, it's not. It is a big stereotype in all animes, and I think that proves Frazer's point even more, that there's not a lot of those quote unquote like Nani moments in Attack on Titan. I mean, there was one tiny moment that I will talk about later. It's just something that funny that came to my mind. But yeah, essentially they've kind of, with the stereotypes, they haven't relied on them, but even with their sort of story, it's been very grounded. And I'm going to describe it like almost like Rick and Morty, where it's very fantastical in its world and its components and titans and its lore and mythology, but it's so grounded in the human stories that it feels more real than just stereotypes and things that you would expect.
Yeah, it's kind of like, you can kind of put yourself there and say, well, what the hell would you do if you lived inside a wall and suddenly it broke and all these monsters came through? Rather than, you look at a main character and you go, or just pick up your sword and cut him because you can.
Yeah.
It's anime. It doesn't make you feel that way. It's like, you better run. It's like that first scene. They kind of nailed this in that first scene where Erin's mum is stuck under the house, and Erin and Mikasa are there, and that guy comes along, begins with H.
Yeah.
Hans? Is it Hans?
Hannes, yeah, Hannes.
Yeah, and he comes along and he runs up and he goes, I'm gonna go and cut all of them down. And then he just stops when he sees one and he's like, no.
Yeah.
I'll do this. Let me do the smart thing, grab the children and run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was the right thing.
Yeah.
Because realistically he weren't gonna win.
I think that's what's good about this anime though, because it doesn't give you that protagonist vibes like most anime do. Like you get one main character that's going to be like, all right, cool, fuck it, I don't care how many of them there are, I'm going to mow them down. I mean, unless you're like your Levi or something. But for anyone else, it's like you're a normal dude and these are like 20-foot titans. What would you actually do? Of course you're going to fucking run and hide and cry and whatever. Like, it puts you in that real world situation. And I think that's part of what splits this anime from animes. Like, it's so visceral and real. You don't really get most anime, which is what I think is what everyone loves about this. But it's just brutal, man. It's so good though. It's so good.
Yeah.
The reactions, and it's the reactions of the characters. It's always that sells it. And like they do very good shots to show the size and the absolute like carnage of and how little these bodies mean. But like, when the characters are just shitting themselves, there is just something that comes over you as a viewer, like, mate, this is uneasy. Like it really makes you feel uneasy. I love it. Give me more.
Yeah. It's been kind of strange because I've been trying to explain to Tanya why I'm watching this, and for bless her, all she's seen me watch is The Last of Us and Attack on Titan, and she's like, why are you watching so many traumatic things? And I'm like, look, one is for different reasons. I said, this is an anime. It's my first ever anime that I watched, and blah 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 blah. But it is so traumatic that it is a bit hard to justify it so easily. As it's just fun like this, where it's more like, no, I watch it, I have palpitations and anxiety, but the story is so grounded and gripping that I'm like, I can't look away. Like I can't not want to know what's going to happen next. But which has been kind of nice. It's kind of like re-justified itself. I'm not watching it because I started it and I wanted to finish. It's been 10 years. I've let go of a lot of shows where I'm like, I can't be fucking bothered. Whereas this one, I'm like, no. This needs an epilogue.
Yeah.
Oh.
The only thing I'd say that isn't all that grounded is like the ODM gear and that, but they need something like that, like something that they can use in that way and something that's visually striking and allows them to have a bit of an advantage in the anime kind of sense. But yeah, I'd say the way
at least they explained ODM though. They did explain it, that like ODM was at least kind of put on a pedestal when they came over to the other country, and they were like, wow, this equipment's incredible. Like how the hell have they, and when the Beast picked it up and that was like, this is really impressive. And it's because they had Hanji in it. Hanji was like,
they got his technical background and all of that.
My girl Hanji.
Yeah.
I think even for any
it hit me. I didn't even realize until I said it. I was like, oh no, Hanji.
Yeah. I think even if there's an element of like any show to sustain an element of belief, which we all do, anything fictional, it still justifies itself within its own world. And I think that's why it doesn't bother me. Like, not that it would, but it justifies itself.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. And I think coming back to something that you said, Serhan, about the way it grips you and stuff, like watching that recap movie, which is actually the 4th movie they've come out with. All 4 movies are recaps. But I guess this is like the recap because the other movies recap each season, whereas this one recapped seasons 1 to 3. Yeah.
Oh.
And yeah, so the way it tries to get through all of that, everything that's happened up to season 3 in 2 hours, it really takes away from those suspenseful moments in the story and those reactions and things like that, just to get the main sequence of events out.
Kind of makes sense. If
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
ended as a recap, then you're not gonna have every little suspenseful moment in there. You just kind of want to remind everyone of like the main bits of where the story's up to, which kind of makes sense. I'm like, I could live with that. I've not seen the movies, but it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, considering this one is 2 hours long, and all the other movies
That-
are also 2 hours long,
So
which is a bit weird, but yeah, it's good as a recap, which I guess they have to do if they're taking 10 years to bring out what is technically like 5-6 seasons, but the fourth season is like gonna have 4 parts to it.
Oh, is it? I thought it was just 2 parts.
It was two.
Basically, this one that's just come out, that this hour-long episode, that counts as part 1, is what I'm seeing. From what I looked into.
Part 1 of 4.
Part 1. Part 1 of part 3 of season 4.
So this one was called like what, season 4, part 3,
Okay.
part 1?
And then
Movie?
there's going to be 2 parts to part 3 and then 2 parts to part 4. Is that right?
So fucking confusing.
Yeah. Well, did we have 2 parts to season 3?
Huh?
Did we have 2 parts to season 3? Or did we just have season 3 and it was
I think it was in 2 parts. Yeah.
2 part? But we
But
definitely
it wasn't called part 1 and part 2 though. It was just
Like a mid-season.
it's
Maybe they had a
different in
break.
Japan though as well. They just say episode 67 and shit.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
But we've definitely already had 2 parts out of season 4.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
We had a break.
2 parts.
The first part of season 4 ended with Eren on top of like the main castle part of Paradis, and there was an airship or something, right? Wasn't there? He just got betrayed or something like that.
Didn't part 4 start with Eren attacking?
Yeah, part 1 did, and it ended at that point, part 1.
Yeah.
And then part 2 picked up there, and they were being attacked by the Marleyans.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
So yeah, that this one that's just come out, because it's in the trailer for it. So that came out this month as part 3, part 1, and then we're getting the rest of it in the autumn, in fall.
Yeah.
So who is making these decisions to call them this?
Yeah.
All right. Listen. This is what I'm reading now from NME, which has made it a bit simpler, as exactly as Fraser's saying. So the show's 4th and final season has been stretched across 3 parts. The first aired back in December 2020, followed by part 2 in January 2022. The third and final part has been split into 2 halves, with the first having already aired in early March, and then the final will be airing in autumn.
Okay, so it's just one more movie, one more.
So the final season is basically part 1, part 2, part 3, but the part 3 has been split into 2.5 and 3.
I mean, it could have just gone. It would have been much easier, but I don't care. I'm in. I'm loving all of it. Yeah, I genuinely think this is one of the best animations of all time. Like, not just animes, but I think it is the best anime. Fight me, it is the best anime. 100%.
You think so?
As far as changing genre every season and changing keeping to a storyline and making everyone go, wow, how did we get from here to here? How is it going from here to here? And then eventually now we're where we're at, and I'm like, how the fuck do I not have a villain? But we're in the middle of the world's biggest war, but there is no villain. I don't know whose side I'm on still. There is a guy killing everyone on Earth, and I still don't know if I support him. It's crazy. It's so well written. It's fucking awesome animation. It's a great story. Yeah, I think I'd say it's my top anime.
Frazer,
yeah.
Have you read the manga of this particular anime?
I haven't, no.
Oh, you haven't? Okay, so so you're on the same level.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have heard things, not anything specific, just people's reactions. But
Yeah.
no, I haven't seen anything myself. I haven't been spoiled.
I think I saw one
All right.
spoiler, but it's kind of not a spoiler because it was like almost insinuated in the last bit that just came out about Falco. He kind of
Yeah,
said
yeah, yeah.
something, and I think I've seen art for it as well, but I won't say anything. Just in case.
Don't say anything.
No,
Don't say
I mean, I don't know if it's true. I mean, I might just be chatting shit, but his name's Falco, so I kind of, yeah. I think it's just Rick who this might spoil it for now. So I'm gonna.
Rick's about to like
Rick, you enjoy it.
shoot himself.
You ignore me. Just enjoy it.
But yeah.
Do
So
you think that when they finally do finish it off in the fall, supposedly, do you think they'll try and continue anything in any way, or do you think that'll be it? That's Attack on Titan finish. That's your lot, because they do like to try and make their money out of these really successful anime. Although they have been able to take their time with it, which most studios aren't allowed to.
I, in a weird way, don't care. As long as they do justice to this is, as Charlie put it, and I will always use it, this is my Lord of the Rings. If they want to Hobbit it afterwards, they can do whatever the fuck they want. It could be nice, an extension, next generation, more from the manga, but if I just want to seal this package as it is, and whatever afterwards, I'll deal with it.
I mean, I hope that they finish it. Once the last part comes out, like it's ended, and that's Attack on Titan. You've got your Attack on Titan season, and that's it. Because they haven't really fucked around with it so far. They've not really added a lot of filler episodes to drag it out, to keep people watching for stuff. It's kind of like its own self-contained thing. But they probably will try and milk the money out of it, because this is a successful fucking show. So you might get like spin-offs that come off of it, or like random little people from other sides of the wall or whatever, their little stories they might dig into. But I think this should stay as it is. Like Attack on Titan is Attack on Titan, and I hope it stays that way. But they will probably do spin-offs or something with it after.
And I guess there are some already in that 6th season, which is on Crunchyroll. I think they're all following like side characters and stuff. I haven't watched any of them.
Yeah.
But I've seen one of the thumbnails has like Sasha in it and stuff. I think they're a couple of like fan favorite characters, aren't they? So
yeah,
give them a chance to shine a bit more.
I think they might end it with like, I think they're going to end it because if they didn't, they'd be stupid. This is a solid story, and everything that they've written from the beginning that ties over to now, it's like Endgame, isn't it? They're in the final chapter. If they don't end it now, they'd be stupid. But I think they can leave it open to like one Eldian is still alive, or Paradise survive. I don't even know how the end. I have not read the manga, so I don't know how this ends anyway. But just leaving one thread that could insinuate that cycle is going to begin again, because it is all about this massive cycle that's happened from Eren to. I'm sorry, I'm just watching Serhan be a tree.
Always wanted to be.
I forgot what I was saying. you can't just
sorry.
Sorry. He's a good tree. It's a good tree.
So, for you guys, your personal peak moments in the anime, if you can't pick one, maybe like your top 3, I don't know.
I think one of my favorite scenes, it's not even like anything action packed. It was like more when they were on top of the wall.
Yes, mate. Yes, that's what I was
Ryder and Burhole just dropped. Yeah, by the way, we're the Colossal and the Armor Titans, so just come with us now. And everyone's just like, what?
Yeah.
Wait, what? What did I just read that right? Yeah, they literally said, yeah, we're the Titans, just come with us now. And it was like all that time of that build-up was just like, yeah, it's us. Can you just come with us now, please? It was like, hang on a minute, what the fuck? And it was just like bombs just dropped. That was one of the standout moments. Was like, hang the fuck on, wait.
Yeah. And that's what it says a lot for the writing. I thought the exact same moment, mate. Honestly, I thought the exact same. That moment, I paused it and was like, what? Went back, watched it again and was like, what is happening? And then it just fucking went down exactly as you said, mate. 100% agree with you. That and it wasn't even the action that followed. I mean, Mikasa nearly chopping fucking Berthold's head off though straight away. She didn't hold back. Man,
But it's just
They were just walking away as well, like casually. Like they could have, like you definitely would have thought they'd overheard what was being said and probably just passed it off for stuff they couldn't hear properly.
Yeah, but
that moment definitely sticks out. I've literally got it written down here as well.
Oh, it's such a good moment.
Just
so good.
that was solid.
What a way to reveal it. Two of them as well, not even one Titan. Like you might get one Titan like by the end of the season. But no, they were just like, yes, it's both of us. We were the guys who fucked everyone you know. Come with us. Jesus.
I guess it gets fleshed out a bit more. Like you get to you kind of get to sympathize a bit with Berthold and Annie and things like that. And up to that, everything they'd done up to that point, you know, you think they got at some point they would have had enough and just be like, look, Aaron's right here. Let's at least just let's just ask him, and instead of just having to kill everybody we ever worked with.
Yeah. Oh, the full circle of it is heartbreaking. Like the fact that we're like rooting for these guys now is just like, what fucking side am I on? I don't know anymore. Mate, it's so well written. It's such a good show.
I think like that. I mean, the moment that Rick said, and that we all agreed on, and I think we can all agree that it's such a well-written show that the action could be fucking amazing. I can think of so many Mikasa moments. Fucking the first time Levi sort of pops up and you see his skills, you're like, whoa, what the fuck? Even fucking Flock when he's trying to go through and trying to blow up the ship. That was a sick moment. But
great sequence,
it's true that, and this is a good sign, that the action takes a back seat, because for me, this was my first exposure to anime. Rikesh showed me episode 1. It took me at least a month to get to episode 2, because to me, the first and the hardest step for me is always watching Eren's mum die. I just go through tingles and it hits me hard. And I think that was something, and I was like, what the fuck? Okay, this is traumatic. Episode 1, where do we go from here? And then I think yes, exactly. But then the second moment, and they're all in season 1 because I was so new to it, I was so sensitive to this exposure, is basically when Eren saves Armin from being eaten. And he gets eaten. And in that moment, I'm like, who are we following? Who's the main character? I'm baffled now. My sense of direction as a viewer and a consumer is so within these stereotypes and directions that I was like, I don't know. I'm like, Mikasa's going to go crazy, anything. So I would pull those 2 points from season 1, even though I know there's a fucking 100 more, but those are the 2 that came to my mind.
Did any of you guys know that he was going to turn into a Titan when that happened? Because I mean, as a first-time viewer of the show, never heard much about it. Mate, I was exactly the same, mate. I was just sat there like, who the fuck are we following then? This guy was the only guy that was really like center stage. Like, what the fuck's going on? If they just psychoed us and they just like completely flipped it? No. Oh, he's a fucking Titan. Oh my god, I did not see it coming. So good. Like that. I mean, that was such a big twist, man. I actually forgot about that until Serhan mentioned it. It's so mad. There's been so many good moments that have kind of overshadowed it.
Yeah, I completely agree. Yeah, I think it was kind of like a moment where it's like, oh, is it going to be one of those animes where we just follow multiple people and something like that, or one of those shows? But yeah, that was definitely a shocker, because he really took some damage in that scene. That was like the first time he'd been deployed out. So
yeah, I think it was. Oh wait, was the forest? The forest was before, wasn't it? No, it was after.
No, the forest was.
It was. They had a massive fight in the forest.
The forest, that he knew he was a Titan at that point.
I mean, the forest, Annie. Oh, amazing. Yeah. That whole thing as well. That was so sick. Oof. Did you guys know that's another big twist?
It did look like her, and my brain was like, this person is familiar, but I was so trapped in, like, she's killing this person, she's going to kill Armin, that I got so wrapped up in what was happening that I didn't even read the signs. Even when she grabs fucking Ryan, and obviously Ryan tells her where Eren is, like again, as Charlie said, watching the second time, obviously I knew he's on her side, and as he's running, he's got steam coming off of him because he's healing with his Titan powers. In the moment, didn't even notice it. I was just like, oh, he saved Armin. He's so cool, and it was fucked. We have by the way, we've got like 30 seconds left before this explodes.
Revamp.
Stop this one and rejoin.
Ad break.
I'm going to stop the recording now. We'll see you.
Da 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 da.
And we're back.
Cool.
There we go.
We're back. We were talking about standout moments. Got any more? I keep thinking of this moment that I was reminded of watching the movie, the recap movie, and it's when Levi gets jumped by that other lot with the guns.
Season 3.
Uncle, wasn't it? Is it his uncle?
Are they the police or something, or are they just like?
I think they were his goons, weren't they? Kenny's goons.
Kenny.
Yeah.
Yeah, that whole scene where he's trying to escape them is pretty sick.
Yeah, that was the first scene that I think was like an animation jump for me. And I remember sitting there like, what the is this Attack on Titan, or have I just clicked on something completely different with a Levi character in it? But yeah, it was like really crazy. It just follows him for ages, like through fucking streets and shit. Great shot.
I think any scene with Levi, to be honest, could be standout.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, him be the Beast.
Titan.
Yeah, him versus the Beast. Every time it's been so sick.
Well, I remember that first scene when it was like season 1 when they're in the forest and like Levi has his squad. I can't remember their names, but then they all die, and then Levi goes on a fucking switch and it just fucks up all the Titans around them. I can't remember what happened. What scene that was, but that scene where you first see what Levi actually does and why he's so fucking sick at what he does.
Yeah,
that kind of paints the picture. Like, all right, Levi is the badass of the show. Leave him to it.
Yeah. And even the characters know.
Yeah.
Because I think it's I mean, even when he's first interacting with the Beast Titan and he's going from Titan to reach him, that was cool. That was fucking amazing. But then when he's got Zeke captured, and obviously this is where this personal beef has really kicked in, and you even see it in this episode where he's like, I'm gonna fucking get this motherfucker. Is when all his friends drink the wine, they transform into Titans. And Zeke's kind of like, I've got you. Like, what are you going to do? You're going to kill your friends? And he's like, to get to you, I will fucking do it. And he has to. And you see him break, but he kills all of his comrades. And he's like, Zeke, I'm still going to fucking get you, you piece of shit. And he just chops him up.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
And he does it so quick as well that Zeke's like, what the fuck? You've done it already? Like, shit. I don't even think you're going to survive, let alone fucking clear him out like in seconds.
to the point where Zeke is genuinely scared of him, like
for
the whole season after.
That devil.
Such a good show, man. Honestly, such a good show.
It's one of the best, hands down. Anyone listening to somebody who ain't watched it, go and watch it. And sorry for the spoilers. Maybe watch it first.
We give our spoiler warnings at the end.
Oh yeah, by the way, spoiler.
Oops.
Oh man.
Yeah. Good moments.
So are we gonna now just touch on this latest experience of trauma of an episode?
Oh yes.
Probably. Should,
So
right?
hold on. So Attack on Titan final season, part 3, part 1 of part 3.
Right. I think that was right.
Yeah, I had to really think about that, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's got a different pace to it, doesn't it? But there's everybody's got new motivations now. It's more about who's innocent and who's not, and who deserves it. And they've got to stop Eren now, supposedly.
Yeah.
But and Eren wants them to stop him, or at least isn't stopping them from trying to stop him, even though he could.
It seems like he wants everyone else to try and stop him.
Mm.
I don't think they can. I think Eren is. You saw what he fucking is now. Whatever the fuck he is,
Oh,
you
terrifying.
can't stop him. How the fuck are you gonna stop it? Like they tried dropping bombs on him, and Zeke was just like, no, you're gonna have all that shit back, and they were done. They were done. I don't think anyone's gonna stop him, man. I think he's gonna finish it. He's gonna finish what he started, and everyone else is gonna die, and he's gonna be like, all right, cool. You guys can live your lives now. And then if he dies after that, he dies after that. But I don't think anyone's gonna stop him at this point, man. I think it's done.
But Eren knows the future. He's seen it. He didn't kind of make this decision because even to touch on the season before, obviously, you always question of why Eren's dad originally killed the part of the royal family and swallowed the other Attack Titan. And then you kind of find it when him and Eren and Zeke are going through that sort of interdimensional sort of spiritual realm, that Eren is the one influencing his dad from the past because they have that past and future connection, and that's why the dad sees Zeke and is like, son, firstly, I'm so sorry, and for the love of God, stop Eren, like please stop your brother because he's gonna fuck shit up. And it's like in the beginning when Eren first gets the premonition of what's gonna happen, he doesn't want it to happen, but it's like it plagues him so much that is like it's inevitable. I have to do it and I choose to do it all at the same time. So he must know what's going to happen. I don't know what will happen, but like he must know, right? He's seen it.
It makes sense for him to already know, but I don't know, man. It's one of those. You gotta watch it and find out what the fuck happens in it, because this show keeps you on your toes. You don't really fucking know what's gonna come around the corner.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just gotta wait and find out, I guess.
Yeah. I haven't
The
seen
intro.
Oh, sorry, go on.
No, I'm sorry. I know I'm jumping around, but the intro to this episode was fucking terrifying and terrible. With the little boy Halil and fuck.
Yeah. Do you notice he had one hand as well?
Yeah.
From where he'd obviously been caught stealing and had his fucking hand chopped off or something. Oh man, it was so heartbreaking.
Mm.
They were so adorable. That was the same kid, right? That Eren.
Yeah.
That was in the same thing, wasn't it? That was in the same episode. I'm just.
It was technically in the same episode when you see him save him, but it connects to the last season.
Yeah, he
when
invited him over the party.
Yeah, but now you find out why that kid invited him over.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that was devastating.
Yeah, you think it's like his rage has stretched out so far he hasn't got control of it anymore.
I think he just knows that, because I've kind of gone on the wave that both Rick and Serhan have already said. I kind of thought at first, and okay, he's going to kill everyone. This is done. And then I got to the point where I was like, well, no, but they're still alive, so they're probably gonna. He's been letting them kill him maybe in front of the rest of the world, so the rest of the world will then be okay with paradise. And I thought, okay, that's a good tactic. Maybe he's seen that. But at this point, I think over 50% of the world is already dead. You might as well just do the rest. There's not much left. Just do the rest and go back to paradise, and then they can kill him off, so no more people can do that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a solid plan. It's probably going to be how it is. There's probably going to be some sentimental heart-to-hearts, but
I reckon
see it going any other way.
No. I reckon they're going to kill him. I reckon
before he wipes out the rest of the world. Who's going to get saved? There's no one left. They're all dead.
Well, in all fairness, we still haven't seen how much of the world is really consumed.
Do you know what? He might see a fucking volcano or one of the things that he's always wanted to see as a kid, and that will be when he's like, this is what I dreamed of seeing. This is freedom. And then he's going to stop. Or he's going to send them all into the fucking volcano or something. I think that would probably be worse. They'd just come out as like lava titans. But
I think Armin's got to talk him out of it somehow.
it's too
No.
fucking late, isn't it?
Yeah,
That's too easy for Attack on Titan at this point to say,
He's
come on,
killed
man.
everyone.
All right.
snap out of it, you bitch. Oh, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
My
sorry,
bad.
I got.
My bad.
I was
My
really,
bad.
you know what I'm like when I ain't have my Snickers.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I think it's done, man. I don't think, regardless of if Mikasa, Armin, whoever, no one's going to stop him. I think at this point they can try it, but I think he's done, man. I think he's just going to finish what he started. The rumbling's going to kill everyone, and he's going to be like, all right, that's it. I'm done. I've done my duty.
Mm.
In peace now, and then that's it. I think
can
that's how
believe
it's
it.
going to end. I kind of hope that's how it's going to end. If they throw a few twists in there or whatever, fine. But I think overall, he's not going to stop, and no one's going to stop him. I think.
It does look slim chances. Yeah.
Yeah.
If they do, it'll come down to the wire.
Mm.
I like a good,
one civilization. Huh?
I like a good underdog victory.
And the underdogs are literally winning nothing, really.
Yeah.
The world's already gone, but you know, we won. We took
Everyone in this story, and they've even pointed towards it, has been the underdog, the villain, and the hero at some point throughout the story, at least to someone else. Because even when they're on the plane, I think Connie's looking at Ryan and is like, fuck, is this how you felt? Because in the last season, what was even more traumatic to see is they're all having to kill their friends because they have different ideologies. And those small human to human fights of like, I need to kill you, I need this boat, or I need this direction. And people are calling each other's name like, you fucking traitor, or you are my friend. And I'm like, they have broken every part of themselves inside and out just to go stop Eren.
the greater good.
For the greater good, for their choice. So they are both, they've all been all of those things at one point to someone.
Mm. They're going to essentially be war criminals as well, isn't it? If that happens, like if Eren does wipe out everyone, the people of Paradise ain't going to take them back. Like they're going to be like, no, you fucking traitors. They're either going to be like killed or put in prison.
Well, they're
Unless
probably going to go. I would imagine that there's a civil war in Paradise at this point. Some people are for it. Some people must be against it. Like, fuck knows, man.
Flock died martyr. Flock died an absolute martyr. He is definitely going to be like a.
They don't know that, man. They haven't seen him. He died horrifically.
Mate, they must have seen him run across that fucking rooftop when they had he had two Titans chasing him, and Mikasa chasing him. Fucking got shot and then managed to hold on for 400 miles, however long he was in the fucking ocean.
Yeah, I don't get that.
Mate, it's insane. Fair play to Flock though. He's actually a really cool character. I really enjoyed his just come. Sorry, that might have to be that. But yeah, just enjoyed his ruthlessness coming in. But I mean, he was there when it was when Erwin died, right? When the beast was lobbing the rocks. Everyone died on that battlefield except Flock. Mate, from that moment, Flock was gone. His one ambition was to get Erwin back and save his life, and then they chose Armin. From that moment, I think he was done. I think he was like,
that broke him.
Yeah.
I did like him though. Good character. Well, he made things really fucking intense among this the people.
The show needed someone to outrightly have one emotion to of I like you or I don't like you. I agree or don't agree. And he was just one of those characters where you're like, I don't like you personally, but I like not liking you.
Yeah.
So
are we going to talk about? Well, mate, we haven't even spoken about Hanji's sacrifice.
Oh yes.
Oh, what a way to fucking go out, though.
Her exit was horrifying, but so amazing.
What did she take out? Because I counted 3 or 4, but then I think there was a shot where there was 2 others falling behind as well. So she might have taken out 5. She was going ham, mate. She did. She
took out a fair few. At
she
least
literally caught on fire,
which was the main point. Yeah.
But mate, Colossals though.
Mm-hmm.
No one ever.
How hard they struggled against Rhino and Berthold.
Yeah. I mean, I know they're like conscious ones, but they're still, you got to still get through the same heat, and you know what I mean. Like she was fucking fire. And she's not someone to fight with.
Yeah.
Oh man, I love her as well. I'm so glad that she's like the fucking Tony Stark of that universe.
Kind of.
She invented everything, like everything, all the fucking thunder spears and shit like that, mate. What are they gonna do without her? Even if the new world survives, without Hanji, you're just fucking cavemen.
Oh yeah, I did also want to mention something because I was watching a breakdown. And someone made a point that I appreciated, that it felt like the whole, and this is what I was going to allude to. The whole like bit with Armin and Annie, and there's a sort of attraction there and that little chemistry, and that was one of probably the very few stereotypical anime moments of like, like, oh my god, I might like you, you might like me. Like, it was so tense for those reasons. I'm like, okay, guys, you can fancy each other, but even though it's such little screen time, Annie's justified because obviously he chose to come visit her and speak to her. She kept him sane. And obviously for Armin, there may have been something there. But in the breakdown that I watched, they said that because Armin had ingested Berthold's Colossal Titan, and Berthold originally had a crush on Annie, that is kind of transferred to him, the same sort of emotions.
Oh,
I watched that same video. Yeah.
You might have watched
it. It's such a really cool little detail.
Yeah,
like,
it's really subtle. Yeah, he had a crush on her, and it might have transferred to Armin, even if Armin still might have had the possibility to like her.
Well, like fate seems like predestined in this show. You know what I mean? Like everything is kind of happening for a reason, and it's almost like if Armin was always going to be the next Colossal, he was always going to share those feelings. You know what I mean? It's like parallel paths almost. You know what I mean? Like they knew it was going to happen, so it's like they were running a similar track. So they probably both have similar feelings for similar people and have like similar ways of looking at things. I don't know.
I can believe it though. I can believe it, and I think that's important as a viewer. Like, I'm like, yeah, I can see it. I would understand why. They're both blonde. Oh man.
I wonder what's in store for Levi now. Guy's got barely any body left.
One more beast fight.
Just 2 fingers.
Yeah, what was it? These two, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. One more beast fight. That's all I want from Levi. One
more time.
But the thing is, when the Beast Titan sort of appeared on Eren's back, because the video, the way I saw it is, I was like, okay, Zeke's in the Beast Titan, but obviously he doesn't agree with Eren. He's just being controlled and manipulated. He's got that sort of grey tone to him. But in the video I watched, the guy was like, no. Zeke is not in that body at all. It's just made with the hardening powers that Eren has. And he's just the embodiment of the Beast Titan, but Zeke is not in him at all. He's just being puppeted from somewhere else. And I thought Zeke is inside that body being controlled, not like a puppet without Zeke.
But why was he in chains then? Seemed a bit...
He was
in chains.
That wasn't
fluid, like attached to the bone.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It wasn't
so
chains.
that he had like a footing.
Yeah. It was something basic to move, like puppets, like literally like a string, so he could move and throw.
Mad. So there probably won't be another beast fight then, because Zeke's out of the picture. Or he'll come back to the beast body for like a second, and Levi will just be there, and he'll be like, "No, I'm done. Take me back out."
Because they don't even know exactly where Eren is. Like, whether he might not even be actually in the Titan body. They might be in that like astral plane looking place or something, like physically.
Yeah. It only has one shot of Eren within that sort of the meaty flesh of the Titan, that it kind of alludes that he's somewhere in the body of it. But even with Zeke, it could be the opposite. Zeke could break free and be like, no, I'm going to help you take Eren down because I don't want this to happen.
That would be a good twist.
Don't see him breaking out though.
No.
Yeah.
No, I don't. Yeah. Oh, fucking hell. Okay. There's so much to say, but so much trauma along with it, so it's hard.
This is a 10 out of 10 show for me. I'm going to say it. This is one of the only times I'll say it's a 10 out of 10 something, but this is a 10 out of 10 show for me. How about you guys?
It's really a must watch.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
maybe
think
not 10, but it's definitely up there as one of my favorite animes for sure.
Why is it not your favorite?
Why are you taking it personally?
the accusation. Why, Rikesh?
Ikasa?
Why is it not
For
your
one, a
favorite?
valid reason. Give it. No, I don't know, man. There's a lot of anime, man. There's a lot of anime, but this is definitely up there as one of the best animes. Whether it's my favorite anime, I don't know, but it is definitely up there. Definitely.
Okay, I think you need to figure
Think
out
you're
your
wrong.
priorities.
Yeah, I agree.
I think this is my favorite because it's my first and it's something I've enjoyed the most. I think obviously Naruto will be like a close second. But for me, like any movie and any show, this is that sort of climax point where, in the sense of like, this is the most enjoyable part of any show. If a show's gone this well for 90% and there's still 10% to go, and you still got the illusion of anything can happen in the future, but so much good has happened in the past, this is the best part of any show. And how they close it, and I do believe they will do it full justice, but how they close it is what will determine everything to me.
I agree. That's actually true. I retract my statement of 10 out of 10. Until it's finished, you cannot
No,
say
it's too late. It's too late. You said it. You said it.
Rikesh,
No,
you were wrong
It's
because
too late.
you
It's too
ruled
late.
it out.
It's too late.
You ruled it
I don't
out.
get anything 10 out of 10. This one was 10 out of 10 for me. You said it. It's
No,
out
it is. Fuck it. 10 out of 10. If it turns out a shit ending, I'll kill myself. I'll cut that. Suicide always comes up.
Guys, can we stop?
Oh, no. Left race finish.
It's in my top three for sure.
Top 3.
But I think in my top threes are all 10 out of 10. So.
That's better then. It's good.
But they've all finished though as well.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to wait till the end.
Yeah.
Wait, what were your other two? I need to know. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Is on my number one.
Yeah.
And One Piece.
Ooh.
Okay. Yeah. I was going to start One Piece. It looks really interesting.
Too long.
It's over 1,000 episodes now.
That's why I've not started it.
Yep.
I'm not catching up. Naruto took me 4-5 months to catch up. 15 years. It was worth it though.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Charlie and Rikesh, I'm just throwing it out there. Naruto or Sasuke? Just saying, just Naruto or Sasuke?
And with that, we're going to end the podcast.
Eren.
What time for discussion?
All right. One last question. We may have asked it. Who is your favorite character in this show?
Ooh.
Owen's a standout.
Owen is
one of those guys who went through a lot, sacrificed a lot,
Strong dude, yeah.
Sacrificed a lot of people as well for the cause, for the one chance they had at that point.
Mm-hmm.
I also like Gene a lot, you know. I really like Gene a lot. Jun.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he's a really good character, man. He's like a really solid supporting character. He's not the main character, but he helps keep shit going.
Yeah.
You know?
He's developed really well. Really, really well. Because he was really reluctant in the beginning as well.
I'm kind of torn between Reiner and Annie. I think it's one of them two.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're both so interesting, and Reiner's so broken now that it's like, even though you've seen him do horrible things to innocent people, you're still going, this poor guy. Right? Just give him a break. Like, yeah. But then Annie is also the same. Now that she's like lost everything, you're really seeing the side of her that's like, I don't care about this war anymore. I'm done with it, and I'm ready to move on. And there's something like really intriguing about her as a person. She's so reserved. It's always like more interesting. And how,
I think seeing so much of Reiner, of Marley, and their side of things really. I remember watching that season at one point and thinking, "Oh, this is interesting. This is really interesting. This is really cool." And at just one point, stopping, but like, "Wait, who the fuck is the enemy? Like, whose side?" And that split within me because I'm like, I really see their point of view, and I really see his point of view, and even Reiner's journey, the pressure as children, their politics, him having a split personality at one point, literally just to cope with the circumstantial pressure. I think I'm not saying Reiner's my favorite, but I think between Reiner and Annie, because we've seen more of Reiner, I can lean more towards him.
I think
my favorite, and like
character has to be Armin. To be honest,
Mm.
guy.
There's another great character.
Ooh,
Really
He's done some really cool things. Like, and it's always like not like action. It's just cool
Just
brains.
plans,
Yeah.
actions, reactions.
Armin has explored and explained an already complicated show through a perspective that is just above it. Like, he's like, okay, if this is the complicated plan, well, I can put these pieces in this place and we might be able to get this resolution. And even his initial sacrifice of when he gets burnt up, I mean, that was even that choice, mate, that fucking action.
That.
Yeah,
Fuck,
that's
brutal that was. Yeah.
just so he could draw out the colossal titan as bait.
Yeah, man, Armin is a top tier character. He's so good considering where he came from, and Commander Armin now.
Yeah.
Oh, mate, yeah, he's a fantastic character. They're all so good though. I mean, to be fair, like no one said Eren, and even the voice acting behind Eren is so good. Like everything he says and does, he's so whiny at the beginning, but then it's like everything he's been whining about is so fucking true. Like, you know what I mean? And he still stands by it even now. Yeah, they're really well written characters.
I think
Sasha.
they're all good. Oh, hold on.
Sorry, I think Jay just said something from the other room. I think she was trying to chime in, but I didn't hear what she said.
No, let her know. She watches the show. I like I said, because this is my first anime, my favorite character of anime is still Mikasa. And looking at the show, and I think her and Levi on the same path they've been the most consistent throughout the show. Where they began and how far they've kept going is just a show of character. Even though with Mikasa there's a little bit of a potential love interest or affection and a connection to Eren. But I think it's really interesting that none of us actually said Eren, even though he's worthy of a top tier character. But the show is that well written and developed with the characters that you can have other favorites and be fully justified. Even like Erwin, he doesn't get nowhere near as much screen time, and without that guy, that their Paradise Island would have fucking collapsed long ago.
In Erwin, do you know what? Every time I hear his name, he actually climbs up the ladder a bit more.
The guy literally got bitten off of his horse riding with one arm, and he was like, "Fucking continue, go!" And he's still alive. Yeah. He was still alive.
He still lived. That's true. We should wrap it up. I think we're getting close to time.
Yeah, that's a good time. So that was another podcast with us, Red Jackson. Thanks for tuning in. I've been Frazer,
Charlie,
Rick,
and Serhan.
And we'll catch you next time.
Insert jingle here.
Red Jack on, red, and a Jack on.